Venomous snakes kill their victims with toxic substances produced in a modified salivary gland that the animal then injects into prey using their fangs. Such venom has evolved over millions of years to cause severe reactions in the victim, from immobilization and hemorrhage to tissue death and inflammation. Here are 10 snakes whose venom not only packs a punch for small prey but that can take out humans. Number 10, Black Mamba. Africa's deadliest snake, the black mamba, Dendroaspis polylepis, can kill a person with just 2 drops of venom, Live Science reported. Named for the dark, inky color inside of their mouths, black mambas are actually brownish in color. They average around 8 feet, 2.5 meters, in length, and can move at 12 miles per hour, 19 kilometers per hour. The lengthy snakes are born with 2 to 3 drops of venom in each fang, so they are lethal biters right from the get-go. By adulthood, they can store up to 20 drops in each of their fangs, according to Kruger National Park. Without treatment, a bite from this African snake is just about always lethal. Here's what a black mamba's venom does to your body. Once injected, the venom interferes with activity at a junction where nerves and muscles connect, resulting in paralysis. Number 9, Fer de lance. A bite from a fer de lance, Bothrops asper, can turn a person's body tissue black as it begins to die. These pit vipers, which live in Central and South America and are between 3.9 and 8.2 feet, 1.2 and 2.5 meters, long and weigh up to 13 pounds, 6 kilograms, are responsible for about half of all snakebite venom poisonings in Central America. Because fer de lance venom contains an anticoagulant, a substance that hinders blood clotting, a bite from this snake can cause a person to hemorrhage. And if that didn't scare you off, consider this. A female can give birth to 90 fierce offspring. Number 8, Boomslang. About 24 hours after being bitten on the thumb by a juvenile boomslang, also called a South African green tree snake, herpetologist Carl Patterson Schmidt died from internal bleeding from his eyes, lungs, kidneys, heart and brain. The boomslang, which can be found throughout Africa but lives primarily in Swaziland, Botswana, Namibia, Mozambique and Zimbabwe, is one of the most venomous of the so-called rear-fanged snakes. With an egg-shaped head, oversized eyes and a bright green patterned body, the boomslang is quite the looker. When threatened, the snake will inflate its neck to twice its size and expose a brightly colored flap of skin between its scales. Victims suffer extensive muscle and brain hemorrhaging, and on top of that, blood will start seeping out of every possible exit, including the gums and nostrils, and even the tiniest of cuts. Blood will also start passing through the body via the victim's stools, urine, saliva, and vomit until they die. Luckily, there is anti-venom for the boomslang if a victim can get it in time. Number 7, Eastern tiger snake. Native to the mountains and grasslands of Southeast Australia, the eastern tiger snake, Nodicus scutatus, is named for the yellow and black bands on its body, though not all populations sport that pattern. Its potent venom can cause poisoning in humans in just 15 minutes after a bite and is responsible for at least 1 death a year on average. Number 6, Russell's viper. Around 58,000 deaths in India are attributed to snake bites every year, and the Russell's viper is responsible for the majority of these mortalities. This species is considered one of the most deadly of the true vipers. In Sri Lanka, where this nocturnal viper likes to rest in paddy fields, they cause high mortality among paddy farmers during harvest time. The snake's venom can lead to an awful smorgasbord of symptoms: acute kidney failure, severe bleeding and multi-organ damage. Some components of the venom related to coagulation can also lead to acute strokes, and in rare cases, symptoms similar to Sheehan's syndrome in which the pituitary gland stops producing certain hormones. Victims typically die from renal failure. Number 5, Saw-scaled viper. The saw-scaled viper is the smallest member of the Big Four in India, along with Russell's viper, the common krite and the Indian cobra, thought to be responsible for the most bites and related deaths in the country. Rather than the stereotypical, hissing, sound attributed to snakes, this viper starts, sizzling, by rubbing together special serrated scales when threatened. Once bitten by this viper, a person will have localized swelling and pain in the area, followed by potential hemorrhage. Since the venom messes with a person's ability to clot blood, it can lead to internal bleeding and ultimately acute kidney failure, according to the Educational Society. Hydration and anti-venom. There are 9 types of anti-venom for this snake, should be administered within hours of the bite for a person to survive. Number 4, banded kite. High contrast yellow and black or sometimes white, gray and black banding evenly spaced running the length of the body. Head is rounded with dark yellow stripes running from snout to the back of the jaw. Slightly stockier than its cousin the many banded kite, the banded kite has a very distinct keeled shape to its body which makes it look triangular. A medium to large-sized snake, they can grow up to 180 centimeters. Unique tail rounded off into a nub at the end and can appear like a small head. Predators will bite the tail leaving them exposed to a bite from the concealed head. Very capable burrow or adept at quickly wedging itself into holes and crevices. Despite the toxic venom, this species is normally quite docile and not usually bothered if observed from a safe distance. Hunts near water sources and will eat lizards as well as other snakes. Highly venomous and any bite should be treated as life-threatening. Number 3, king cobra. The king cobra, Ophiophagus hanna, is the world's longest venomous snake, measuring up to 18 feet, 5.4 meters. The snake's impressive eyesight allows it to spot a moving person from nearly 330 feet, 100 meters, away. When threatened, a king cobra will use special ribs and muscles in its neck to flare out its hood, or the skin around its head. These snakes can also lift their heads off the ground about a third of their body length. Its claim to fame is not so much the potency of its venom, but rather the amount injected into victims. Each bite delivers about 7 milliliters, about 0.24 fluid ounces, of venom, and the snake tends to attack with 3 or 4 bites in quick succession. Even a single bite can kill a human in 15 minutes and an adult elephant in just a few hours. Number 2, coastal taipan. You could be bitten multiple times before becoming aware of the coastal taipan, Oxyuranus scutellatus, thanks to its incredible speed. When threatened, this snake, which lives in the wet forests of temperate and tropical coastal regions, will lift its whole body off the ground as it jumps fangs first with extraordinary precision and injects venom into its enemy. Before 1956, when an effective anti-venom was produced, this snake's bite was nearly always fatal. Number 1, inland taipan. The inland taipan is one of the most venomous snakes, meaning just a teensy bit of its venom can kill prey, or human victims. They live tucked away in the clay crevices of Queensland and South Australia's floodplains, often within the pre-dug burrows of other animals. Living in more remote locations than the coastal taipan, the inland taipan rarely comes into contact with human. When the taipan does feel threatened, the snake coils its body into a tight S shape before darting out in one quick bite or multiple bites. A main ingredient of this venom, which sets it apart from other species, is the hyaluronidase enzyme. This enzyme increases the absorption rate of the toxins throughout the victim's body. Don't forget to subscribe and also turn the notification bell on.